two.
Oh, that was like perfect.
That was funny.
That was perfect.
That was good.
We should use that one for the first take.
All right, guys, welcome to Beer Talks. I'm Jonathan,
I'm Nick.
and we have a special guest today. My buddy, my man, Elliot
Yes, Elliot. Hello, everybody.
from Cold Mountain Productions.
Sir.
All right, guys. Today we have Cali Squeeze
Yeah.
brought to you.
So this was a recommendation from Elliot. He wanted to do a Hefeweizen, and this was the only Hefeweizen that I could find in such a short period of time. So we made it work.
Firestone Walker is a good.
Oh, it's by Firestone.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Ooh.
So it's blood orange Hefeweizen, and can you give us any kind of like?
You're supposed to wait. We're supposed to do it at the same
Oh,
time.
I killed it.
You killed it.
That
though.
rookie mistake.
What do you know? What do you know about the Hefeweizen? Like how they brew it? Like do you know any background on it?
Yeah, well, I just know it's a malty beer. It's more on the wheatier side.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of like they brew it with different fruits. There's banana Hefeweizen.
Oh, really?
Yes, the one here in Wolf Creek, the banana Hef, amazing.
Oh, nice.
But mainly, yeah, it's more of a maltier beer brewed with wheat.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I have seen it with a lot of fruits.
Yeah,
So I'm excited to try this.
Yeah, me too.
It's like 100 degrees outside, so it's
I've never had.
So this one was brewed with the blood orange, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's
That's
do
cool.
it.
So they ferment I'm sure they're the little orange zest up in there
Mhm.
somehow.
Right.
All right, I shall.
You guys ready?
Ready. Let's do it.
I messed that one up.
Don't be like me and like have a ton of foam when you pour.
Right. So before we drink, we're gonna.
There's a science to the pour.
Yeah.
You can smell it too.
See?
So we base our rate off of the aroma, the taste, and then the texture of the beer.
Okay.
Okay.
Aroma,
Yeah.
base, and texture.
So first,
Oh, that smells good.
Sounds real good.
That smells real good.
yeah, it's almost like a perfume.
That's all my fart smell.
You got some good smelling farts, dude.
Yeah, bro. You should bottle that up and sell it.
This is good. That looks good. You can see like the little blood orange color.
Right? You guys poured way more than I
Yeah.
did.
I know, bro. Rookie.
I know, right? All right,
No,
let's
I
do
really
it.
like the smell.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Salute.
ready?
Color's nice too.
Salute. Salute.
Hello. Ooh, that is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is nice. It's not super malty.
That's really good.
Super smooth.
Putting the rest of this bad boy in there.
Yeah.
Taste. You brought more than 3, right?
Yeah, I got a 6.
That's
That's
really
super
good.
refreshing.
It is. That's perfect by the pool.
Yeah.
That's why I love Hefs. Hefs,
Yeah.
you can drink it by the pool.
I think
They're
you just
refreshing, they're
turned
crisp.
me on to like a new beer.
Come on.
Bro. This is
That's
really
like
good.
my
That's
go-tos.
really good. I'm about to go buy some more.
Yeah. You know, it's not thick.
Mm-mm.
It's very light, but it's almost like a flavored water of
That's
beer.
so good.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
What's the
It's a
percentage
good
on this?
combination of all of it. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, it's got that good beer flavor.
Can you taste the orange for sure?
I can taste the blood orange. Yeah, it's pretty distinct in there.
Yeah. You can taste it. You can taste the wheat too.
Yeah, but it's on the lighter side, which
Yeah,
is kind of nice.
super
It's almost
light.
like a soda,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Super chill.
I really like that.
It's like a soda mixed with the beer, but
Yeah.
at a good consistency. Good shit.
Yes, sir.
Good call.
Salud.
Dang.
Thank you.
You just turned this on to a new one. We've been doing like lagers and
Lagers, I
IPAs
mean,
and-
you can't go wrong with a lager. A good lager.
So, what's your favorite
Lager.
Mexican beer?
Ooh, Mexican? Man, you know, it's... I don't
If
know,
any.
Modelo. That's,
Yeah.
to me, is...
I like
my
the
go-to.
negro.
I've never had the negro.
Negra.
Negra, Modelo Negra.
Yeah.
Modelo Pacíficos, those two are...
Okay, it's a combination
Yeah,
of both.
yes.
Yeah, if there's no Modelo, I'll go with the Pacifico. If there's no Pacifico, I'll go with the Modelo. Yeah, Coronas is like the last. They're too
True.
watery for me.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are welcome back.
Yes, sir.
We'll have you on
Yeah.
soon enough.
Well,
All
cheers,
right.
guys. This was really good.
This is awesome.
Cool.
All right.
Oh, let's rate it.
Oh.
Okay.
What do you give
What
it?
are you guys rating? Like how from 1 to
1 to 10?
1 to 10. Yeah, of just all around, like what you think.
like from the best beers I've ever had?
Yeah. Best beer you ever had is probably a 9.5.
Okay. This is a good. This is a good. I say 8.
Okay, so solid. That's
That's it?
solid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good 8.
Yeah, give it an 8.5.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
About 8.5 all
Mhm.
around.
Mhm.
Like, that's really good.
Go and try it, guys.
Wow.
I'd recommend this one for
Yes.
By
Firestone
Firestone.
Walker.
Cali Squeeze.
Firestone, Cali Squeeze.
Squeezed in California.
Dude,
Squeeze-
that's
squeeze
really good.
We keep it
Squeeze
local.
them cheeks.
Squeeze them cheap.
Dude,
Oh my god, this is so good.
I'm a fan.
We might have more than one.
I'm an instant fan.
Yeah, there's,
All right.
there's more here, just saying.
All right. All right, we're back.
Yes.
Elliot, who are you? Who
am
is
I?
Elliot?
That's such a deep question. It's like there's so much stuff. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But my name's Elliot. I have a company called Mountain Productions. Started about a year ago, but went full time 4 months ago.
Nice.
Started just filming for people, shooting random events from church to my friends, and I started developing a passion for it. I'm like, hey, somebody would pay me here and there, because I do it for free at first, right?
Yeah.
And then out of
So
nowhere,
yeah, tell us how you got into like all of the like film production
Yeah.
and all that.
So I've always liked growing up, like the making in DVDs. They have the things like the making of
Yeah.
Jurassic Park, or the
For sure.
behind the scenes of
Yeah.
Spielberg was amazing, and that really, like, as a kid, I liked the behind the scenes of movies.
Cool.
Right, and then growing up, I kind of I'm like, I want to be a cop, or I want to be something, right? Never really pursued it until I started working for a local church, and then I had a camera, started doing, my thing, and then, like I said, one thing led to another. I started doing things for free. From there, people started paying me. They're like, okay, maybe I can make some money.
So,
off of
so
this.
what was your first gig?
First
Walk us
gig,
through the first
oh
gig.
my god! I'll tell you
What
my
was
first
it?
wedding. I had
wow.
weddings
Yeah.
are probably like the most. I don't know if I'll ever do another wedding again. I'm sorry. Weddings are the most stressful things. I'm with my
Did
friends.
you have a bridezilla or what?
No, it's just like if you miss the kiss, how do you miss the kiss? What do you tell them? Hey, I don't
Kiss
have
again.
to kiss.
Kiss
Kiss again.
again.
Let's give it to you guys. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you miss the ring
That's
or if you
awesome.
miss certain shots, it's like you can't get those back unless you
Yeah.
reenact them, and then that doesn't look natural, right? So my first wedding, I felt like, hey, can you do my wedding? I'm like, all right, let's go, let's do this. I've never done it, but let's do it. I did it, got my stuff, and it was scary, but like I what I do, I watch a lot of YouTube of other weddings.
Okay.
And I educate
Nice.
myself first, and like, okay, what do they do? What's
Smart.
trending? What's happening?
Yeah,
What kind of shots are we getting?
Yeah.
Right? How do you put a story together? Right? So,
Oh yeah.
so I started doing that, getting inspired, and I did it, and it came out well. But now, thankfully, thank God, now it's to the point where I have business doing basketball stuff. I'm
Okay.
shooting
Yeah.
Sierra
We've seen some of your
Canyon,
stuff,
and
yeah.
So what made you start your own business? Do you remember that moment of like
Yeah.
when it first clicked and said, you know what, I got to do this for
yeah. No, I started getting really busy, but I couldn't because I had a full-time job.
me? Okay.
And I took on a lot of projects, and then I was like, you know what? If I quit my full-time job, I can potentially build something with what I have, right? With what I'm doing. I have my own camera, and little by little I saved up, bought things here and there, and I was like, okay, I really felt like it was time for me to launch it, and I talked to my previous job, like, hey, in 6 months I feel like I'm ready to do my own thing. And they supported me. I did it, and I've been nonstop since.
Nice.
So it's been.
What's been the biggest hurdle, obstacle, fear, starting your own company, doing all that?
The biggest obstacle, the biggest hurdle is honestly time. Like, time is so valuable.
Yeah.
And some people unfortunately don't respect your time.
Of course.
Or your work. And it's like time to me is like, okay, I'm getting all these projects, but then do I have enough time, or do they want? Some people just want just because they pay you, they want it like this, but they don't understand there's a process, right?
Yes.
And to me, it's like I'd rather have somebody who respects and honors my time and pays me less than someone who doesn't honor my time and or respects my time and pays me a lot more. You know, because I'm like I would rather have somebody who understands, who's able to work with me. But the biggest hurdle has been like sometimes like there's not enough time.
Have you raised your prices?
I have.
Good.
Inflation.
How many times?
Inflation, bro.
How many
I gotta
times?
keep up. So far, it's been twice.
Yeah,
good.
inflation.
No, inflation,
No, because that's honestly one of the first things you want to do
Yes.
as a business owner.
And you can't be afraid of that.
As soon as you start not having enough time for the things that you're doing,
Yeah.
you gotta raise those prices.
Right.
Because
Right.
two things are gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna get paid more,
Right.
and then you're gonna drop the customers that are not willing to pay.
Yeah.
The wishy-washy.
Yeah.
The
You
wishy-washy.
get more. What do you call it? More
High quality.
clients.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah. So it's been awesome, man. And I'm doing some real estate stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome. That opens a
Yeah.
whole new portal. Because, I mean, marketing, video marketing
Of course.
is really important, I'm sure, for you
So
guys as
that's
well.
actually a perfect segue into a couple of questions I have for you.
Yeah.
So, and just kind of curious, what's been like your experience with real estate in general? Like, did your parents own a home? Do you know people who own homes? Like, what's your experience in total like with real estate?
You know, it's crazy. I think there's just salesmen in general have a
Bad reputation.
bad rep because it's like, I want to sell you this house because I need to make this commission.
Right?
Right? And it's
Right.
like, they'll throw bells and whistles and like, you know, and sometimes, unfortunately, like if you're not educated enough, people will take advantage of you.
Of course.
So to me, when it comes to in real estate, I've never had like a personal like one-on-one, like I haven't bought a house or anything like that, but my parents have. But thankfully, they had a great real estate agent that helped them buy their house, and now with the house they currently live in. But I think for me, or even just people who sell things in general, there's always, okay, there's always a catch.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you gotta know who to trust. It's a trust thing.
Yes,
really.
definitely.
That's dude, we didn't give you a script, right?
No.
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 But that's a perfect segue,
Yeah.
right? Because the next question is like, what's your perception of realtors as real estate people, like Johnny and I? Like, what's your perception of us if you didn't know us?
I didn't know you guys.
Like, what's your perception of realtors in general? Like, when you think of a realtor, like,
What's the first thing that pops in your mind?
what are the first things that come to mind?
It's commission, to be honest. Like commission, like they're trying to make money.
Just trying to make money.
Yeah, I'm being honest with you. Oh, they're trying to make money, and that's why
We got to change that, guys, because it can't just be about the commission. Can't just be about the sale.
It can't.
It's got to be really to help people.
Yeah, and it's bring value. Like I think relationship is, if you can build a relationship with that individual,
Yeah.
by going above and beyond with your service, then I can trust you.
You know what's so funny that you say that is that like
That's
what
our
we
business
preach.
model.
That's what
That's
we
our
preach.
business model.
Yeah, we 100% preach that because it's like we want to kind of change the narrative of what's happening in real estate. And even though they give us the title of a real estate salesperson,
Right.
we're real estate professionals. And I think when you think of us as a real estate professional, that just takes a whole nother. Yes, we are in it. We earn a commission, right? But that's just that happens as a result of all these things that we've done for you, right? It shouldn't be like the end all goal.
Yeah.
And we hope that commission is a lot less than what the value that we actually provided to you
Right.
and your future.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest thing, is knowing that what we're selling is a lifelong thing where you can start to develop yourself as an investor, as someone in finances, where you can say, I own my own house. I have so much equity. I was talking to you a little earlier, and I told you, one thing that most people will have that have a house 5-10 years or so, they're gonna say, thank God I have what I have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the things that we strive to get from our clients,
Right.
is that them knowing that 2, 3, 5 years from now, they're gonna be like, thank God I bought what I bought and I have what I have, because now it gives me the options to do all these other things.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, and that's what I love what you're doing with your little videos that you're doing. You know, that alone shows me, if I was a buyer or a seller, okay, this man took his time to pay someone to record this video, so I can have a good experience, a smooth experience. That way, I can know every single step of the way.
Exactly.
And that builds to me some rapport with you, and credibility and trust. You know?
Yeah.
Which with any salesman, the biggest thing you want is trust, no matter what they're selling, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I think you really like. There's a famous saying that like people don't care what you know until they know that you care.
Right.
And to an
Those
extent,
zingers, bro. Those
to-
zingers. Say it
I
again.
know.
Say it again.
No.
Say it again.
Let's go.
Say it again.
Yeah. So
Say it one more time.
well,
That's a cheers.
yeah.
right there.
So
That's a cheers.
yeah, people don't care what you know until they know that you care, right? To an extent, right? Because at the same time, like there are people out there and clients that all they care about is can you give me the result,
Right.
right?
That's
so
true.
so a lot of times like it's hard like when you start trying to move up the ranks in an agent, it's less. Yes, there's trust. Yes, there's this, but it's can I trust you to get the result that I want?
Right. And I think
Right.
the reason why most people, or like people like me, have that preconceived idea of you guys,
Yeah.
not saying you
Yeah,
specifically, but real estate agents, is because they've had a bad experience with
Yes.
sales agents
Exactly.
in general. That
And I think I went over that earlier with
Yeah.
you, right? Like,
Yeah.
most of the time, because you asked me what deters people from buying a house
Right.
or from getting real estate.
Yeah.
I think what it is they hear a lot of those bad stories,
Right.
Yeah.
or they have a lot of those bad stories from family members,
Yeah.
and then that's all they repeat and that's
Right.
all they say.
Yeah.
Instead of it's our job to really start creating those good stories
Right.
and those good experiences around real estate and around
100%.
around the process and educating our clients, even if they don't go with us, right?
Right.
And that's one thing that we do is like, even if you decide to go buy with someone else,
Mhm.
I still want to give you the steps and the education in order for you to be like know the wherewithal of like,
Right.
oh, I know what I'm doing,
Right.
or I know what I'm getting myself into,
Yeah.
even if you don't go with us, because that at the end of the day, I don't really care so much about the commission. I care about what people are going to say about me later on.
Because it represents you.
Yeah.
You're the transaction at the end is a representation of who you are of your team,
Exactly.
your company. So if you give them a sour taste, that like damages your whole reputation to that
Yeah.
person.
And you know what's funny? Like in our industry, the agents that are productive and that produce, it's a small circle.
Mm.
So like if you give a bad experience, it goes
Yeah,
around,
yeah,
and
great
everyone
point.
knows
Sure.
like, oh, don't accept his offer, or you know don't
I was about to ask for
yeah, like don't submit an offer on his listing because you know what, it's gonna be a bad experience,
Yeah.
and that's huge.
Right.
And it goes not just for the agents and our colleagues within our circle,
Yeah.
but also with peers, like with our clients. Clients talk, bro.
I'm sure.
Clients, I'm
Oh,
telling
don't
you.
go with that guy. 'cause-
Don't, the
yeah.
moment you have, don't go with that guy.
or it's just silence, right? Because
Yeah.
Mm.
our business, our line of work, even your line of work is
Yeah.
is word of mouth.
Right.
And if someone doesn't speak
100%.
highly of you,
Ooh.
that's just
That's
as
a
bad
wrap.
as someone
Yeah.
speaking bad about you.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Uh-huh.
That's 100% true. Yeah.
Wait, are we gonna crack it at the same time this
Yeah.
time? I
This-
think
this-
we do a redo.
Yeah, we got a good conversation here. Let's keep it going. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is awesome.
Ready?
1, 2.
Oh, that was like perfect.
That was funny.
That was perfect.
That was good.
We should use that one for the first take. You know?
Yeah.
Put it back in the beginning.
Or at least
That's
just get the
funny.
sound of it. Layer the
Yeah.
sound of it.
That's awesome.
Nah, man.
So, I think we're in an interesting conversation right here, and I kind of want to keep it going. Like, you're totally outside real estate, right?
What do you mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, meaning like
Outside of the
outside of like
Yeah, I don't know.
like you have no idea, right? And this is actually a really good opportunity. If you could, which you can now, could ask a realtor like a couple of questions, what would those questions be?
Honestly, to me, it's
Right.
the biggest thing. Honestly, I mean, it'll probably sound crazy, but it's like, all right, man, I just need your help. I'm gonna buy a house for the first time, and I'll be honest with them. I don't know it all. I don't know the ins and outs. Like I'll probably come to you guys. I don't know
Right.
the ins and outs. I don't know like, you know what I'm saying, the different steps. I just need you to be honest with me. What do I need? X, Y, and Z. Give me a roadmap of what I need exactly, and I'll trust you. You know, like that way. I just don't want to be taken advantage of.
Exactly.
You know, like, hey, bro, can you just give me clear direction of what I need to do? What steps do I need?
Yeah,
And make sure,
100%.
like, whether it's going to somewhere else, you guys, like, I just want whoever takes care of me to be, like, at the end of the day, it's trust. You know?
Yeah.
I don't want no, like, shady business. And if I feel that I sense that, I'm like, okay, then that's weird. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
yeah.
So, yeah, just, like, I guess if there's a question, it'd be like, hey, man, can you just help me do this the easiest way?
So if I hear you right, the thing that matters the most, like in a transaction, like if you're gonna go buy a
Yeah.
house from now, transparency.
100%. let's put all of our cards on the table. Hey, I know you're gonna get commission. I would gladly, if there's anything I can do, add to help your commission,
Yeah.
I'll help you. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want you to take advantage of me.
So, question for you.
Yeah.
As a potential buyer
Yeah.
or whatever, where do you think our commission comes from? Do you
Oh, that's a good
are you
That's a
aware?
great question.
Yeah,
I'm not aware of where exactly it comes from. I
Because
think,
I think this is a question that a lot of buyers have
Yeah.
and are just not aware of what.
you know, it's like a car salesman. There's add-ons. Oh, but you know what? You can get this. Oh, why don't you add this? Why don't you add
Yeah.
So that's where I know commission come from
Okay.
for dealerships. Real estate, I really have no idea where it comes from. I just think it's the sale.
So the funny part is about a real estate agent's commission, especially on the buyer side. Most buyers are not going to be paying our commission. So I'm not paid from you.
Right.
So if you come with one of us or whatever, and we help you purchase a home, you're actually not paying us.
Mm.
Who's actually paying us is the seller of the home that's actually paying our commission.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and the reason, so this is the way it works, right? The listing agent signs a contract with the seller, charging a certain commission,
Okay.
right? And then from that commission, they pay a buyer's agent to bring them a qualified buyer.
Mm.
So there's
Okay,
two ways that
yeah.
the listing agent can get paid.
Nice.
The listing agent can bring their own buyers, or they can put it on the market and hope that an agent brings their buyer.
And how do they find those buyers?
Either through their network,
Okay.
through marketing, just whatever means that
Right.
they have, right? I mean, we have our systems that,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we do when we're trying to find like buyers for our sellers.
Right.
But if you put it on the open market, right, you want to be able to attract the agents that have buyers, and you want to be able to attract your own buyers,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
So if
Okay.
an agent brings a buyer, we pay them a commission for bringing that buyer.
Okay.
That's how
I see what
that
you're
works,
saying.
right?
Okay.
So as
That makes
a
sense.
buyer,
Yeah.
right, it's actually in your benefit to work with an agent,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
you're not paying that agent directly,
Yeah.
right? That agent's getting paid from the
So-
seller by bringing a qualified buyer.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
our job as a real estate agent on the buyer side is to qualify you, make sure
Yeah.
that you're able to buy, that you have the qualifications, you have
Exactly.
you have the down payment, you have the income
Yeah,
to get the loan and purchase a home.
It's to
Okay.
really get you to such a qualified point that we were taking of every aspect,
Mm.
that when we do present you to purchase that house or write an offer,
Mm.
the other agents like, oh wow, they're all complete.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Right.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So I think
Yeah.
when I learned that, the first time I learned that,
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
why doesn't everyone just get a real estate agent?
Right. Yeah.
Like honestly, like
Yeah.
if you're buying a house, there's no point of not getting a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And really talking to somebody that actually is gonna
Yeah, yeah.
does know what they're doing and has done some transactions.
Can people go without a real estate agent?
They
If they want to
can.
sell, but
Well-
it probably
Well, if you wanted,
Not
well, for
beneficial.
example, if you wanted to buy, you technically can't. You could buy, but you'd have to buy with the seller, like without agents.
Oh, okay.
So, but if the seller already has an agent, that
Yeah.
agent would just represent you,
Right. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
However, you wanted to sell, you can sell on your own without representation.
Mm.
It's called like a for sell by owner.
But then that's all you take care
You
of
take care of
everything.
everything,
That's a whole
paperwork,
hassle. Yeah.
and you may even have to deal with the buyer's agent.
Yeah.
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 So
No,
it's
thanks.
a lot. It's a lot, which
Yeah.
is why it's like you trying to represent yourself in court.
Right.
Would you represent
No,
yourself
I
in
get
court?
the.
Like you
Yeah.
could,
Uh-huh.
but would you want to? That's what I try to tell people. Like
That's so true. That's a good
you could,
analogy.
you could represent yourself in court,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But would you want to?
No, hell no.
Probably not, because there's a lot of little things that
Little
you really need to know.
Legalities and words.
Yeah, and I mean that's why you hire professionals to
Right.
be able to. They're specialized in that
Right.
certain thing to help you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean it's great to have someone that's not in real estate come and kind of just chime in and give us like a fresh perspective on like what does the public see about real estate agents?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I got a question for you guys. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
have
yeah.
answered this in your previous podcast, but why did you guys become real estate agents?
Oh, I don't think we've got to that.
I don't think we have. I mean, we've got into a little bit, but not.
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
Not.
Do you want to do the honors of going first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So I've always been into finances.
Okay.
Ever since I think I got married, just realized that money makes the world go around. And if you really want to succeed in this life and have some stuff, you got to figure that stuff out.
Right.
You can't just wing it and expect to have good things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have to get a budget. You have to decide where your money's gonna go, what you're gonna do with it. Also, my family. I think my parents really pushed me and my wife to buy a house. So that really pushed us to buy a house. Once we got in that like frame of mind, you know, I just realized I want to help people be able to accomplish these things. And it's crazy because, you know, we're talking about this stuff, and I realize that a lot of people are actually qualified to buy a house, and they don't even know it.
Yeah.
They think it's so far out there that they're like, oh, prices are crazy, market's crazy, that stuff ain't gonna happen for me. But you don't even realize that, like, if you actually speak with an agent and you get qualified, you're actually pretty well qualified. A lot of families are. You know what I mean? Especially if you're both working and you have good income, you're most likely qualified. And it's just, you just got to take that step and go that process in order to get there. And it's crazy. Like, that's one thing I realized is that education in our sphere, in our workplace, like, it's just not there. And that's why I think that's one of the reasons why I really want to start this podcast, is really to educate people and to know that there's so many options out there.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, 100%. So, mine's a little bit different. Growing up, like, we moved around a lot, and I saw, like, my parents and my dad, like, deal with, like, certain people, and it just seemed like from the outside looking in that he was just getting taken advantage of all the time. And from different, it could have been real estate agents, insurance people, HOAs, and it just didn't sit well with me. And so now that I'm older, I was like, you know, my dad has a business of doing like window coverings and shutters and blinds, you know, right? And I've always been inside all these big, beautiful homes, and I love like being in these homes. Like, I love everything about homes, what they stand for, the fact that people create memories, they do all kinds of stuff within their homes. You know what I mean? And people spend a lot of money taking care of their house. And so all of those things of like my dad and, you know, kind of getting taken advantage of by certain people, also kind of being in all of these really nice, beautiful homes, it kind of meshed together, and I was like, you know what, like, I really like to get into real estate and see like behind the scenes, right? And then getting behind the scenes and getting into the business, I'm like, wow. And hearing the horror stories from some clients, no, really.
No, yeah, I'm sure that.
It's really given me a mission to help people, like, not get taken advantage of. And I think that for me has been the biggest thing, is that, yes, the education, which is like why I got excited about this podcast, is like, you just don't know what you don't know. And like, coming up, I'm a first generation. I wasn't taught a lot of the stuff that I know now in real estate. And so what happens is, like, if you don't know, like, people take advantage of that ignorance. You know what I mean? And I think there needs to be people out there, and there are good agents, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of bad agents, but there are good agents out there that do the right by their clients, right? Which is, you know, there is a good pool of agents that are trying to change the narrative.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, and there are out there, you know what I mean? And not just us, but there's a bunch of agents out there who are trying to work to change that narrative, and really push to educate people on the process, on why it's important to buy a house, and things like that. And so that's really why I got started, was I really wanted to educate people on the process, so that they no longer, even if they went with somebody else, they no longer got taken advantage of.
That's good. That's awesome. Thank you, guys.
For sure.
I feel like you guys on my podcast. I'm like, okay, no, thank you guys.
The Elliot podcast,
No, that's
cool.
awesome.
All right,
no,
so,
at least so that everybody can know, you know, like, you guys'
for
story.
sure.
That's awesome.
So, a question for you. What is your biggest issue now that you are self-employed?
My biggest issue,
Or biggest...
You know, the thing right now is to keep up with, like the paperwork, like the tax aspect of it. Oh my gosh, that's a whole headache. You know what I'm saying? Like, receipts, everything, like putting everything away, writing everything off. To me, I was never educated in that, or like, you know, I didn't know. I mean, I knew that came with it, but I was never, like, to me, that's the biggest thing right now. Writing everything off, keeping receipts, putting everything together, making sure everything's in line, so my taxes for the following year will be impeccable and like good to go, you know, not owing anything. So that's
It's
my biggest
tough,
thing.
man.
Yeah, no, that's my biggest
Yeah.
thing. I'm sure. I don't know if you guys have figured that out, but
Yeah.
that's
Well,
something that's
I'm also a small business owner,
right.
and like taxes is huge.
Yeah.
And like I'm at a point where, I've gone to the Small Business Administration. If you don't know about the SBA, look into the SBA. They're there and they're a resource for you in case you need answers to something. They even have attorneys on call where you can call people with
okay.
anything. Yeah, it's the
SBA.
The SBA. Yeah, they're
That's
huge.
amazing.
And they're actually, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But there is an
Oh,
office
right.
here in Santa Clarita,
Okay.
and they're super helpful. Super
Okay.
helpful.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah. And
Get a good CPA.
yes, I think don't think that you need to do your taxes by yourself. It's super important to hire a professional. Because,
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
You won't, it's the same thing. It's like going to court with
Right.
IRS.
But-
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
so
there's
many guys.
there's a CPAs that only do W-2 employees.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or not the CPAs, tax people. I mean.
Yeah. W2s,
So,
no
yeah,
99s.
you need to go to a tax
You
person.
don't want one of those.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want a tax person that specializes in self-employment or business owners.
Okay.
There's a lot of little tiny details that go into your taxes. And there's a lot of benefits when you do your taxes right.
Right.
Like if you're gonna buy a house,
Yeah.
how do you structure your taxes to pay minimal taxes, but also qualify for the maximum amount of dollars on a purchase?
Yeah.
Right.
See, that's something that you really should learn,
Right.
especially if you are looking into buying a house,
Yeah.
because that's really, really important.
Yeah. So I would say look for professionals, look for help. I've gone through, man, headaches.
Yeah.
I have years of different taxes and man.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine.
So let us be a resource for you anytime, man. Anytime you need help with your business and the back end stuff, like reach out to us.
Okay. No, good. Thank you. Yeah, that's my biggest thing right now.
How do you market yourself?
Right now, I'll be honest. Thankfully, it's all word of mouth.
It's all word of mouth.
So it's like keeping me busy. If I were to market myself more, I think. I mean, I'm in the process right now of hiring editors. That's the biggest thing. The editing
Yeah.
process is what takes forever.
Yeah.
So right now, I have 2 editors that are like working that I've hired on 1099, and that's kind of where I'm pushing it. So now I'm able to pick up on more work, and just. But the biggest thing is word of mouth. You know, it's like showing up with your camera. You show up with this big old thing, man. People are gonna ask you questions.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I feel good about
I think what you should do too is start like just make a badge
Yeah,
for yourself with
Yeah.
an ID.
the little QR code.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
QR code to your Instagram,
Yeah.
whatever.
So that's how it is, man. I'll go shoot a basketball game, and then like 6 different parents come up to me. Hey, who are you shooting for? Hey, can you shoot something for my son? Like, well, here's my
Yeah.
price. If you can Venmo me right now,
Let's
we'll
do
get
it.
this done. Boom,
Yeah.
there you go. Boom. So,
That's
all right, what number is it? Send number 12. Like, I got you. So that's how it works. It's literally word of mouth, you know. And thank God I don't have to market myself like crazy.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be able to take on all the work. So it's a good problem to have, but eventually I'll market myself through Instagram, Reels, website. You know,
Yeah.
that,
And you produce good content, man. Like,
yeah. Thank you.
that's why I hired you. I was like,
Yeah.
I love like the content. It's creative, like the angles you get, the way you edit everything.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. It's all
Yeah.
trial and error, man.
Hopefully, this podcast will get to a level where we can
I
hire you
will,
on.
100%,
Yeah.
man.
Get that production.
You just keep getting more
Yeah.
beers and it'll get there, man.
Cheers.
I love it. I love it.
Am I a nerd? We're gonna find
This,
out.
this
Is
the
Elliot a
geek-
nerd?
This is our geek out section.
here we
So,
go.
what are you into?
What am I into, man?
Like comic books,
Anything.
Star Wars,
Marvel,
MCU, DC,
DC,
like, what do you-
basketball. What are you
It's
really
all
into?
basketball. No,
Just basketball.
I'm not
Space
really
Jam.
into Marvel, even though I love the movies. You know what I'm saying? But I can't sit here and tell you, oh, I've seen all the Marvel movies
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like.
You're not allowed on our podcast.
No, it's a wrap, bro.
Kick
Like,
rocks,
let's
kick
go.
rocks, homie.
No, I'm serious. Like, no, I mean, I love the movies. I love the cinematography of it. You know, I'll watch them, but it's not like I'm like not a diehard fan. You know,
You don't watch the YouTube
I
videos to
collect
find out what they're
newspapers.
about?
I collect newspapers.
Wait,
That's
do-
Why do you collect newspapers?
Why do I collect newspapers? Because
Oh,
it's history.
interesting.
About what though
Interesting.
specifically?
So, for example, I have the 9/11 one when it happened. I have,
Really?
Yeah.
What,
I
which
was in
one though?
7th
Was
grade.
it LA Times?
No, San Diego. I lived in San
Okay.
Diego back then.
Oh, cool.
But I have that one. I got when they killed Saddam Hussein.
Okay.
Oh,
I got the
dope.
one. Yeah, no, I got this. I want to show this to my
That's
kids.
actually pretty cool.
No, it's
Yeah.
really
That's
cool.
actually pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I got
That's
the one with
cool.
Barack Obama, the first African American president. You know, that's
Okay.
history.
Did you get Bin Laden?
I did get Bin Laden. Yes, I do
Okay.
have that one.
Okay.
I have Bin Laden, the craziest terrorist ever. So just newspapers. Yeah, I collect newspapers. I have basketball cards still.
Dude.
So I have Kobe, Shaq. I have some.
So question:
Okay.
what do you think about NFTs?
NFTC. I never really got into it. I know it's like a new type of like. It's something that you create once and nobody can replicate it, and you can sell that thing to
Yeah.
somebody.
The reason I ask
It's
is
a
because
code.
if you're collecting newspapers, you
Yeah.
might want to really look into NFTs.
NFTs.
Dude,
Yeah.
create-
No, I heard if you create, people
If you
can sell
create
that
an
stuff for-
NFT for those newspapers,
Yeah.
like you could get
Oh,
dude, you
yeah.
could create an NFT for those newspapers,
Really?
yeah, and like put that onto the market. But someone that's
Maybe
like really into 9/11,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Would buy
digitize
that.
it somehow.
yeah, like
And then-
dude,
yeah.
all you need is a photo, screenshot it, and find someone who can write you a string of code.
Well, he'll do more than just screenshot it. I mean,
Yeah.
he'll-
Well, yeah, I mean,
get a
like,
good
yeah.
version of the thing.
Yeah,
And then, yeah, I mean, I think that would be a great idea
Yeah.
to do an NFT of those things.
dude.
So yeah, I'm not a big
Because
nerd, but I
I-
think collecting
well-
newspapers kind of.
Well, I don't know if you know, the first tweet on Twitter sold for what, 32 million?
The first
What?
tweet.
Yeah, on
the
Twitter.
first ever tweet.
Got
on
coded.
Twitter.
Yeah, got coded.
It got converted into NFT.
No way.
So
Yeah.
the bad part is, then it went on auction and it sold for a lot less. But
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
the technology's there,
Yeah.
and I think you should really educate yourself on,
Dude,
on
that'd be
NFTs
sick.
That'd be
to
insane.
figure
Imagine-
out what it actually like.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
no,
like
it's dope.
NFT of 9/11.
Yeah, I have that.
Or
I have a
even
bunch
like-
of newspapers.
Yeah.
I have an old one where Elvis Presley died.
What?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that 1980 or something?
Yeah. No, I got that. I was helping an old lady move, and she had a box of newspapers. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I collect newspapers. Like, you can have it. And there was Elvis Presley.
What?
And that-
No.
Yeah, so I have that.
Business
Let's
venture.
go. Yeah.
Bro, are you ready to
So,
be a millionaire?
I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Dude, that's sick.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's as nerd as I'll get. I guess.
That's nice.
Yeah, but I love basketball. You can talk to me about basketball.
Do you have basketball newspapers?
I have when the Lakers lost to the San Antonio Spurs. When they were going to go for the 4-peat for
Is
the.
that 05, right?
They were they won 2000. They won 2000 to the 1 to 3. 2004-05 season they lost. They got Shaq and Kobe. That was when Shaq and Kobe era ended. So I have that
Yeah.
newspaper. That was
wow.
pretty cool. And then there's a picture of Kobe and Shaq just hugging like that.
And that was when they had Karl Malone
Dude,
and Gary
you
Payton,
should
right?
Payton,
Dude,
yeah.
make that into an NFT and
Oh
hit up
my
Shaq.
god, hit up Shaq. Oh my god.
Bro,
Hey,
Yo.
there's
You're
so
telling
many
me you wouldn't wanna buy
possibilities. Oh yeah, I'm sure you will. It's a newspaper, Shaq and Kobe, right
Yeah.
there. And then
bro, eBay that
Yeah.
thing and then send him the link.
yeah, dude. So
Wow.
so that's kind of what
That's crazy.
I collect. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's so cool.
pretty cool.
It's almost like mint comic books, almost
Yeah.
in a sense,
Yeah.
but they're actually like it's a little bit different because they're actually world events. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Right.
so that.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know why I was when 9/11 happened. I was 7th grader, and I'm like, this is like it was all over TV. I'm like, this is probably going to be a crazy event. So I'm
Which
just
it
going to go
was.
ahead and save this. Maybe one day it'll be worth.
So
it.
so walk us through that. You actually went to go buy the newspaper, or how
Yeah.
did you come across?
Yeah,
the
no.
newspaper?
So I was in school and I went to the recycling bin. My teacher had a recycling bin and a bunch of newspapers there. It was the day after 9/11. There was a ton of newspaper there that was thrown away. So I picked it up and I said, "This is going to be worth something maybe one day." Or not even that. I was like more. I'm like, what 7th grade thinking already about.
Yeah.
I'm like, my kids might want to read this, right? And I'm like a 7. I'm a child too. But yeah, so I've had it and we moved and it's always stuck around. I have it framed.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, I have a lot of. I've always framed them different, like all the different newspapers.
And did you just keep the front page, or did you keep all of it?
Some I have like the whole the like for example the sports ones. I have the whole stack. The 9/11 I have just the front page. It's a nice beautiful thing, but it's crazy how you can tell like it's so old.
Oh,
It's so
yeah.
fragile. You know,
Yeah,
over
dude,
time.
That's
That's
crazy.
Yeah,
That's
That is
actually
pretty
really
nuts.
dope.
yeah. So that's
We'll follow up with you and we'll walk
Yeah.
you through it.
yeah.
If we
I'll
can.
come back here again when I'm like a freaking billionaire. Right? I'll come back with an idea.
Dude,
You
you,
know what I'm saying?
joke, but that dude,
You never know.
there's dumber stuff selling online.
Yeah.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
sure.
Like I told you, I follow Gary Vee, and what he does a lot of is baseball cards.
Okay.
Like, and you'd be surprised how much, or actually sports cards in general.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
because there's also like, I think there's people like Kobe Bryant rookie cards and stuff
Oh,
like that.
that is
and that stuff goes for
insane.
crazy money.
The Kobe
Yeah,
rookie
bro.
card? Oh my gosh. I don't have a rookie card. I have one from the 2000. But I have a Shaq one. I have a couple basketball cards.
Maybe we'll be the first ones to start converting those into NFTs, bro.
Man,
Like,
that would be insane. Like NFT basketball cards. Or
yeah, because there's a lot of them. I don't know if you know the gorilla ones or the monkey ones or whatever.
Yeah, Ape Club.
Like, yeah, the Ape Club. There you go. And those go for good money, bro. Like
But
millions
the
of dollars.
Yeah, but the reason they sell so high is that they're also like entry tickets into certain clubs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's just you gotta create that exclusivity, which you do have with
Yeah.
those newspapers, honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's like nobody else is gonna have that.
Yeah. That's true.
So
Good to know. Well, I'm kind of a nerd. I hope I
Yeah.
passed your guys' nerd meter.
Dude, that was,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
actually blew me away.
Yeah.
Dude, that was cool. Actually, last night I saw the new Miss Marvel. Did you get a chance?
Oh,
I
to
haven't seen it. My daughter told me about it. I didn't even realize it was already out.
Yeah, dude, it just
Buttons.
came out.
I've been
And
out of
I actually skipped the new Obi-Wan episode
watch
to
Miss
watch Miss
Marvel?
Marvel.
it.
You
Interesting.
guys watch that Doctor Strange one?
Oh, Multiverse
Dude,
of Madness?
that's like
Dude, we
2
have a
months
whole
ago.
podcast
That's
about
like 2 months
Multiverse of
ago.
Madness.
I don't know. I just heard it was amazing. I haven't
Yeah.
seen
It was
I think
cool.
Episode,
Yeah.
is our second episode or is it third
That was a
one?
bonus episode on the 4th, I think.
Yeah, we did an episode on
Okay.
Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
always stay for the post credits? Yes.
Yeah, of
We
course.
just, at
Of
the
course.
end we do a little
Yeah.
like comic, like
No,
No, during the
he's
movie.
talking about during the movie. So yeah, we stayed.
Oh,
during-
yeah,
I stayed.
yeah.
I always stay during the mid credits and the post.
Yeah.
So
I stay until like they tell us
It's
to
over.
leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
you gotta make sure Marvel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Marvel, you
No,
gotta
see,
make sure, bro.
Marvel's
Yeah,
always gonna do
always.
it. So
They always have something.
Yeah. So Miss Marvel was cool, bro.
Yeah.
I really like the cultural aspect. You know,
I'm gonna have to catch it. I want to catch it. I'm
Dude, it's
gonna catch
really
it.
cool. It's really cool. I and that's one of the things I really appreciate about Marvel is that they use different
You-
cultures and diversity, like in their shows and movies
Yeah.
and stuff.
You know the first Latino. Well, I guess the first Latino really like real characters coming up, right?
No.
You're aware. So, Black Panther. They're gonna do Namor. So, but Namor is gonna come from. So he's originally in the comics. He's from Atlantis, but they're actually gonna retcon it, and they're gonna do like a Mayan ancestry
Ooh,
to
are
it.
they?
Yeah. So
Dude, that's
there's
gonna be sick.
the actor that was on Narcos. What's his name? I think his name is Teno. But he's on Narcos Mexico, the one that grew the weed, the dark
The
skinned
dark
one.
one?
Yeah.
The Indian looking one?
Yeah, he's gonna play Namor.
Oh, nice.
No.
Yeah. So that's
gonna
coming
be
up this year.
dope.
So that's gonna be our first real like Latino.
Wow.
Not American
In the Marvel.
Chavez.
Nah, I don't
Wow.
know American Chavez. She was barely able to speak Spanish, bro.
Yeah. No, but I mean, that's the one thing that I love about Marvel is like
Yeah.
The diversity.
the diversity.
Right.
They bring the humanist heroes, and I think you really see that like in Miss Marvel. Like
Okay, I'm gonna
she's
catch
just
it.
a teenage. It's like equivalent to like Peter Parker kind of ish, where she's kind of like teenage. She's in high school.
She's still a kid.
Yeah, she's dealing with all the kid problems, and you know she's just kind of stumbles across like this little band that gives her the powers, and like that was the end. Of the first
Spoilers.
Oh yeah, that was the end of the first episode, right? And it's like super cool dealing with like, you know, her cultural parents and how they like tell her like she can't do certain things and like, you know, it was like real life, but then making her into a superhero. Like it's so
That's dope.
cool. Yeah, it's so
That's
cool.
dope.
I really enjoyed it.
So did you watch Multiverse of Madness?
No,
Doc
I
Church?
never have. Never have. No, I'm
What do
not.
you do with
Like,
your
I'm
It's working, bro.
At work.
I'm
Yeah,
just
no, I
kidding.
know. I like rarely watch TV. It's terrible, so I don't really catch up to that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
I would like. I'll probably watch it eventually.
Just wait till they're all on Disney Plus and you can watch
Right,
them all.
right. That's probably the best bet for sure.
No, I'm super excited for Thor. Do you see Black Adam trailer?
No, I haven't seen it.
Dude, Black
It
Adam's
looks
gonna be
dope, though.
sick. He's kind of like, how do I put Black Adam? If Deadpool had Superman's powers, okay, in a movie,
Would you hear Deadpool? It's gonna be the first rated R.
Disney movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had a thing where I said I think Doctor Strange should have been rated R.
Oh, okay. This last one that came out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
I heard there's a lot
I
of
think
weird
so.
stuff in there too, like
Dude,
kind of like
it's like
intense.
super demonic.
Yeah,
it's
that's what I
crazy.
heard. No, that's what I heard. That's
Dude,
what I heard.
super, yeah.
If you're worried about it,
Yeah,
there's
no.
witchcraft.
Yeah.
There's everything.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I heard. It's pretty
there's
intense.
You need a
gore.
sage. You need to go to church after. Like,
You can impersonate your personate, whatever,
Yeah,
whatever you
bro.
gotta do.
dude.
No, but I heard it was
It's
good.
intense.
Yeah.
It's like all of these like
Spray some holy water on yourself.
yeah, it's all
Yeah.
these like crazy like horror movies, like original horror movies, and they kind of throw in like little samples of horror movies into
It was cool.
But it was good,
But
yeah.
I think it should have been rated R.
Yeah.
and I think it should have been 3 hours,
Yeah.
They
How long
rushed
was it?
like 2.
Two and change.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's still a long movie.
nah,
Nah.
they could have done a lot.
Not for Marvel movies anymore.
Yeah, that's normal, right?
Like I think back in the day, hour and a half was a good movie. Now it's 2 hours plus.
Right.
Yeah,
Almost any
and
movie.
you can't even fit enough in 2 hours.
No.
Yeah, like they jumped right into the movie.
Mm.
Like they didn't waste any
Go watch
time.
it
Okay.
and then tell us about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Ooh.
super good. And
Alright.
Thor's coming out, so Thor's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Thor's gonna
guys. That's been Beer Talks.
be- Yeah.
Here we go.